Hey everyone, welcome to our camp with another recap. Today, I want to tell you the story of a movie that takes place on a mysterious island in the Black Sea, where dangerous creatures live that exist nowhere else in the world. The islanders have spent years trying to wipe them out. But when a young girl discovers she can talk to them, the Legend of Ochi begins. Maxime heads into the forest to hunt with a group of young men from the village. Using a radar mounted on his truck, he locates the dangerous animals. Among them, Yuri is the only girl. The truck stops and everyone quickly jumps out. Maxime hands Yuri his father's knife, the same one he received on his own first hunt. They enter the forest, heading toward the habitat of creatures called Ochi. Ochis are extremely dangerous to humans, and at that very moment, Maxime's group is surrounding a small group. One baby Ochi becomes separated from its mother just as Maxime and the group attack. The Ochis scatter, several of them climbing up the trees.
The trees!
Maxime orders them to set fire to the surrounding trees and the real battle begins. The boys open fire. Yuri, terrified and lying on the ground, spots the baby Ochi on one of the trees. The entire group manages to escape without a single serious injury. Yuri sees the baby Ochi break away from the group and run off in another direction. The next morning, Maxime blames the entire group for the mess they made the night before, including his own son Petro. He sternly reminds everyone of what the Ochis have done to their village and warns them that next time they see one, they must kill it. At the breakfast table, Yuri tells Maxime she wants to visit her mother. Maxime explodes. He blames his wife for abandoning the family and refuses to let Yuri see her. Yuri stands up from the table and storms out of the house. She heads into the forest to check the traps. One of the traps is broken, and she finds a blood trail. Quietly, she follows it until she hears an Ochi nearby. Tracking the sound, she finds the same baby Ochi from the previous night, hiding inside a hollow tree. Its leg is caught in a trap and badly injured. Yuri uses a long branch to carefully free its leg. The Ochi tries to run but can't get far because of the wound. Yuri returns home and checks through the window to make sure her father is asleep. She sneaks the Ochi into her room inside her bag. She grabs a bandage from the first aid kit to treat its wound, but the Ochi resists, so she puts one of her vampire toy fangs in her mouth to look like an Ochi's teeth, making it feel safe. Eventually, she manages to bandage its leg. Outside, Petro hears the Ochi's noise. Yuri hurriedly packs some essentials, but the door suddenly bursts open. She pushes it shut with all her strength, knocking Petro to the floor. He kicks the door open and sees Yuri with the Ochi. Petro raises his gun toward it. Ignoring her brother's threat, Yuri escapes out the window. The next morning, when Maxime notices Yuri hasn't shown up for breakfast, he goes to her room and finds a note she left behind. Yuri no longer wants to live with him, so she's run away. Maxime finds Ochi hair on the floor and realizes one of them is involved. He gathers the boys and puts on his old armor, determined to wipe out the Ochis once and for all. While the boys start searching every corner of the village, Yuri manages to escape through the forest and reaches a small town on the island. Hungry, she sneaks into a store to steal food. The Ochi pokes its head out of her bag. A woman spots it and screams. When Yuri turns to look, the Ochi tumbles out of the bag. The cashier grabs a gun and heads toward the shelves. Yuri hides with the Ochi inside one of the refrigerators. The Ochi starts making noise, and Yuri covers its mouth, but it bites her hand hard, causing her to scream in pain. When Yuri sees someone aiming a gun at them, she bursts out of the refrigerator, jumps onto a shopping cart, crashes through the store window, and escapes. In the parking lot, a man is fixing his flat tire. Yuri seizes the chance and jumps into his car, but it won't start. The owner tries to stop her, but she manages to get the car running and drives away. Her hand is badly swollen from the Ochi bite, and she needs medical help. Then the loose tire bolts come off, and the car crashes into a lamp post. A few minutes later, Maxime drives down the same road. He spots the vampire toy fangs that the police found and realizes Yuri was there. Meanwhile, Petro, out searching in the mountains, discovers a house. Yuri finds water in the forest and washes her hand wound. The swelling is worse than before, and she has no way to treat it. The Ochi starts talking to her, and suddenly, Yuri realizes she can understand it. She begins speaking back in their language, convinced it's because of the bite on her hand. Overwhelmed with excitement, she runs through the forest, but suddenly falls into one of her father's traps. At the same time, Maxim finds one of Yuri's footprints. Yuri falls into a hole where a woman finds her. The woman carries Yuri on her back and takes her home. When Yuri regains consciousness, she sees her mother, Desha. Desha is preparing a special medicine that can only be extracted from a bat's body. She pours it into a syringe. Yuri says she doesn't want the treatment and would rather keep being able to talk to the Ochis. But Desha tells her the ability to speak with them isn't because of the wound. Before she left, Desha had taught Yuri how to speak their language using a special instrument. Desha picks up a flute-like instrument and begins to speak exactly like the Ochis. Once Yuri is sure the medicine won't affect her ability to talk to them, Desha injects the syringe into her arm. Outside, Petro is watching the house from a distance and alerts everyone through the radio. The next morning, Yuri spots a map on which the location of the Ochis' main nest is marked. She wants to return the baby Ochi to its home, but Desha warns her that the mother will abandon it because it now carries the scent of humans. When Yuri realizes her mother won't listen to her, she decides to act on her own. She slips out into the forest to find the baby Ochi first. Meanwhile, Maxim and his men surround the cabin. Unaware that his ex-wife is inside, Maxim storms in. The moment he sees Desha, he freezes. At the same time, the boys break into the basement and ransack the entire room. Maxim demands to know where Yuri is. When Desha refuses to answer, he threatens her. Desha raises her left arm and reminds him that after he caused her to lose it, she has nothing left to lose. She lunges at Maxim, quickly forcing him out of the house, but the boys corner her. Petro shows Maxim the map he found in the basement. Now Maxim knows the exact location of every Ochi nest on the island, and he's ecstatic. After Maxim and his group leave, Desha jumps into her truck and speeds away. Yuri finds the baby Ochi perched high on a tree. She quickly starts building a wooden boat. Maxim and his men are getting closer, but by the time they reach the river, Yuri is already gone. She finishes the boat in time and soon reaches a large cliff, the territory where the Ochis live. When the Ochis see a human entering their domain, they all hide inside their burrows. The boys eventually spot Yuri. She rows faster, but the boat crashes into a rock, throwing her into the water. As the baby Ochi begins to drown, Yuri dives in to save it. Both of them manage to reach a safe spot. Maxim tries to convince Yuri not to go into the cave, insisting that these animals aren't her real family. But just as he thinks he's gotten through to her, Yuri swims toward the cave entrance. Petro, now unwilling to follow his father's orders, believes Yuri was right to leave. Maxim grabs him by the collar, throws him to the ground, and decides to go in alone. He takes off his armor and swims toward the cave. Inside the cave, Yuri realizes her father is following her. She runs deeper, but Maxim's foot gets stuck between fallen tree trunks. Yuri cautiously approaches and tries to free his foot with his own axe, but the log is too heavy. When Maxim spots the baby Ochi, he panics at first, but the little animal approaches him gently, and Maxim reaches out to pet it. In that moment, he finally understands how wrong he's been about these beings all along. Yuri tries again and manages to free his foot. Meanwhile, the boys sit on a long piece of wood and row inside with their guns. Desha also arrives at the cave and discovers ancient cave paintings showing that in the past, humans and Ochis communicated through those special instruments, and there was no violence between them. Yuri enters the Ochis' nesting ground and finds the baby's mother. She slowly approaches. Maxim spots the boys setting up an ambush on a cliff above. He orders them to lower their weapons, but one of them fires anyway, hitting the nest. Petro rushes in and stops him, triggering the Ochis' anger. They prepare to attack, but at that moment, Desha steps in, playing her flute. The Ochis calm down as the sound fills the cave. Yuri walks forward, bows to one of the Ochis, and the baby Ochi returns to its mother's embrace. In the end, the Ochi child wasn't abandoned by its mother because of the human scent, since long ago humans and Ochis shared a strong bond. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, you know what to do.